The cold wind of Ardent 9 bits through Captain Elias Thorne's heavy jacket as he trudged across the rocky plains. The planet was a far-flung world at the edge of human-colonized space, a place mapped but largely unexplored. Its jagged cliffs, deep valleys, and sharp stone ridges stretched endlessly under a pale lavender sky. Dust swirled in small tornadoes around the uneven terrain. Elias had come here alone to survey potential resource sites for the Terran Council, but he never expected to find someone he couldn't have imagined. He adjusted the strap of his pack and scanned the horizon. A faint metallic glint caught his eye near a cluster of rocks. At first, he thought it was the remains of a derelict probe, or perhaps a shard of human equipment left by explorers before him. But as he approached, the glint turned into movement, and then into a figure. The alien was unlike any species Elias had encountered before. She was slender, about the height of a human, with smooth, violet-tinted skin that shimmered softly in the dim light. Her large, luminous eyes, a deep amber color, reflected fear and desperation. In her arms, she cradled a small child. Its tiny body trembled, its skin pale with illness. The alien raised a hand in a trembling gesture. "Help," she whispered telepathically, and Elias felt the words in his mind rather than hearing them aloud. His eyes widened. Telepathic communication was rare, and to encounter it at such close range, especially with a being in distress, was extraordinary. He crouched slightly, trying to make his presence less threatening. "I'm human. I won't hurt you," he said softly, keeping his voice calm. The alien's eyes flicked toward him with hope mixed with caution. She spoke again, the words clear in his mind. "Feed. My child. Please." Elias's heart tightened. He had faced danger, storms, and hostile wildlife, but nothing had prepared him for this level of desperation. He took a careful step forward, keeping his hands visible. "I can help," he said, "but I need to see your child. Can you let me?" For a long moment, she hesitated, her eyes darting around the barren landscape, as if looking for threats. Then, with a slight nod, she extended the child toward him. Elias gently lifted the small creature, feeling its weak heartbeat. It was fragile, smaller than a human infant, but more delicate. Its breathing was shallow, ragged, and uneven. "This child needs immediate care," Elias said aloud, though the alien could hear him telepathically. "I have supplies in my ship. We need to move quickly." The alien's eyes glistened. She nodded, her form shaking with relief. Elias could sense her gratitude, mixing with exhaustion and fear. She led him through jagged rocks toward a flatter area where his small exploration craft was parked. The journey was slow. The child's condition left no room for haste, yet the alien's presence was calming, almost like a guide, showing him paths across the rocky terrain he might have missed. By the time they reached the ship, the planet's twin suns were dipping low, casting long shadows over the surface. Elias carefully carried the child aboard, setting it on a small medical table. The alien followed, settling nearby, her glowing eyes fixed on him with silent concern. Elias opened his medkit, his hands moving quickly but cautiously. Standard human medical protocols only went so far. The child's biology was different. Alien. Its skin responded to touch in ways that made Elias adjust his approach. He applied mild stimulants and nutritional supplements, all designed to stabilize life signs until a more permanent solution could be found. The alien woman hovered close, her telepathic presence guiding him. She communicated fragments of knowledge, nutrients the child needed, signs of fever, subtle cues of distress. Elias listened carefully, merging human expertise with alien insight. Every small adjustment he made seemed to calm the child slightly. Hours passed. The suns disappeared completely behind the horizon, leaving the craft in semi-darkness illuminated only by interior lights. Elias worked tirelessly, never letting fatigue show. The alien woman stayed close, her hands hovering over her child, as if to share warmth through proximity and telepathic energy. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the child stirred, opening eyes that reflected dim light like tiny stars. It was weak, but alive. The alien mother exhaled in relief, her glowing skin pulsing softly with joy. Elias felt an unfamiliar warmth in his chest, a mixture of pride, relief, and a deep, human empathy that connected him to these alien beings. "Thank you," she said, the words entering his mind as if carried on the gentlest breeze. Her voice was soft, but clear. "I do not know your name, human, but you are kind. You help when no one else could." Elias nodded, a faint smile on his face. "I'm Captain Elias Thorne. You are safe here. We'll get your child stronger." The alien woman's eyes brightened, and for the first time, Elias saw a spark of hope in them. Despite the fear, the alien planet, and the strangeness of their meeting, a fragile connection had formed a bridge between species, built on trust and compassion. As night deepened outside the craft, Elias and the alien woman sat silently. He observed her as she stroked her child gently, her luminous skin shifting with emotion. He realized something important. Humanity's strength was not only in technology, ships, or weapons. It was in the willingness to act with empathy, to extend a hand even when the outcome was uncertain. In the quiet hours, Elias began to plan the next steps. They would need more than basic supplies. The child required alien-specific nutrients and healing techniques, some of which might only be found on her home planet. But that journey would not be easy. The stars beyond Ardent 9 were vast, and dangers awaited at every turn: cosmic storms, rogue ships, and perhaps even predators from other worlds. Still, Elias felt ready. For the first time in his long career of exploration and missions, he understood that this was more than just a rescue. It was a test of humanity's values. Could humans rise above fear, misunderstanding, and distance to help a being so different, yet so alike, in the most important way? He believed they could. The alien mother finally spoke again. "I do not have words for gratitude. You give life where there was despair. If you journey with us, you will see my world, my people. Perhaps there is a place for humans there too." Elias looked down at the child, sleeping now with tiny, steady breaths. He felt a sense of purpose unlike anything he had known. The stars outside beckoned, mysterious and endless, but he knew that wherever this journey led, humanity's courage and compassion would guide the way. For now, though, he allowed himself a moment of quiet pride. He had arrived at a lonely planet, expecting rocks and dust, and instead found life, fragile, yet fighting, and a mother who needed him more than anything else in the universe. And in that moment, Elias understood the truth that would carry him through the trials ahead. Even in the cold expanse of space, the warmth of human empathy could make a difference, could save lives. The night passed slowly, the ship humming softly as systems maintained warmth and oxygen. Elias stayed alert, monitoring the child's vital signs, ready to act at the first sign of trouble. The alien woman remained beside him, occasionally placing her hand on his shoulder in silent gratitude. For all their differences, an unspoken understanding had formed. And as the twin moons of Ardent 9 rose, casting silver light across the barren planet, Elias knew this was only the beginning. He had saved a life tonight, but the universe held far greater challenges. And yet, he also knew something deeper. Humanity's greatest weapon was not a laser or a shield, it was the courage to care. Tomorrow, they would face new trials. But tonight, there was hope. And hope, Elias realized, was stronger than any fear the stars could throw at them. The next morning, the dim light of Ardent 9's twin suns filtered through the ship's viewport, painting the interior in soft shades of gold and lavender. Captain Elias Thorne was already awake. his hands carefully checking the child's vitals. The small alien, still fragile, stirred slightly but made no sound. Its breathing was steadier than last night. But Elias knew that the struggle was far from over. The alien mother hovered close, her shimmering skin glowing faintly in the soft morning light. Her eyes, filled with worry and hope, followed every movement of Elias's hands. "It feels better, but not yet strong," she communicated telepathically. Elias nodded, understanding immediately. "I know," he said softly. "We'll get there. We just need to figure out exactly what the child needs." Elias had access to standard human medical supplies, stimulants, vitamins, synthetic nutrients, and advanced monitoring equipment. But alien biology was different. The child's cells reacted unpredictably to human medicine. Every pulse, every intake, had to be carefully adjusted. He started by examining the child's vital signs and comparing them to the sparse data the alien mother provided. Needs, warmth, and nutrient from moonflower root. "From home planet," she whispered in his mind. Elias frowned. Moonflower root was unknown to humans, and replicating it on the ship would be impossible. But he refused to let that stop him. Using his knowledge of chemistry and alien biology, he began experimenting with alternatives. He carefully extracted compounds from plants collected during previous missions and tested them in tiny doses. The alien mother guided him, describing how her species processed nutrients, how warmth was critical to cellular recovery, and how certain telepathic cues could calm a child's nervous system. Elias listened intently, blending science and intuition. Every small adjustment seemed to help the child breathe more steadily. Hours passed, filled with concentration and careful trial and error. Elias's face was tense, his hands steady, but his mind alert to every tiny change. Occasionally, the alien mother would hum softly in a telepathic rhythm, almost like a heartbeat. And the child's tiny body responded immediately, curling into her warmth. Elias realized this was more than comfort. It was a natural healing mechanism that humans could not replicate, yet he could support it. Despite their careful efforts, the child's condition remained delicate. At one point, the tiny heart rate dropped dangerously low. Elias acted without hesitation, using a specialized stimulator to encourage the heart to beat steadily again. The alien mother's telepathic voice trembled with fear, and Elias felt a surge of urgency. He couldn't fail. Minutes stretched into hours. Finally, the child's breathing stabilized, slow and steady. Elias exhaled, allowing himself a brief moment of relief. The alien mother placed a delicate hand over her child, and her glow brightened as if mirroring the tiny heartbeat of the little one. "You, strong," she said telepathically, a smile of relief spreading across her face. "You help, like my people say, guardian of life." Elias felt a shiver of pride. He had never considered himself a hero, but saving a life, no matter how alien, was the truest measure of humanity. With the immediate crisis over, Elias knew the next challenge was feeding the child regularly. Moonflower root or its equivalents would be needed to restore strength fully. The alien woman described the plant in detail: luminescent petals, soft fibers, and a subtle glow that indicated potency. Elias sketched diagrams and began searching the ship's stores for anything remotely similar. Using chemical substitutes and controlled exposure to light, he managed to create a temporary nutrient mixture. The child responded positively, sucking gently from the makeshift feeding system. Each swallow brought a faint glow to its skin, evidence that the body was absorbing nutrients correctly. Elias and the alien mother exchanged a look of cautious triumph. But just as they began to relax, the ship's sensors picked up something alarming. A faint energy signature, irregular and moving fast, appeared on the outskirts of the system. Elias frowned. "It could be a storm," he muttered. But the alien mother shook her head, fear flashing in her luminous eyes. Not storm, predators, hunters. Follow child's energy, she warned telepathically. Elias's stomach tightened. Alien scavengers, or worse, had detected the life force emitted by the child. Their presence in the galaxy was unpredictable and dangerous. Humans had faced pirates and raiders before, but the idea of hostile extraterrestrials hunting for life energy was new. He activated the ship's defensive systems, raising shields and preparing emergency protocols. The alien mother hovered near the child, emanating a calm, steady, telepathic pulse. Elias realized her ability could guide them, letting the ship anticipate threats before they appeared. They were a team now, human ingenuity and alien instinct combined. Hours turned into tense navigation. The predators closed in, using the energy signature as a beacon. Elias maneuvered through asteroid fields and rocky debris, each movement calculated to evade detection. Every time the scavengers attempted an attack, the alien mother's telepathy seemed to guide him, warning him of danger just in time. During a brief moment of calm, Elias looked at her. "Your people. You have remarkable abilities. I never imagined such guidance would make a difference in space travel." She smiled faintly, tired but proud. "Our strength, not only in body, but mind. We feel, we know, we protect." As they traveled, Elias also learned more about her species. They were survivors, wanderers who moved across galaxies, often pursued by enemies seeking their energy-rich offspring. The child's survival was more than personal, it was a symbol of hope for her people. Elias felt the weight of responsibility grow heavier, but he also felt more determined. Humans had a duty not just to themselves, but to life beyond their world. Finally, after days of careful navigation, the immediate threat of the scavengers lessened. Elias breathed a quiet sigh of relief. The child, now stronger, rested peacefully. Its tiny fingers flexed in unconscious curiosity, and the alien mother's glow pulsed gently, a sign of her continued vigilance. "Tomorrow, we reach the colony," Elias said softly. "We'll have scientists and healers to help the child fully recover." Her eyes brightened. "I cannot thank you enough. You are human. But you care. Like my people dream of." Elias felt a strange warmth inside him. He had faced storms, wild planets, and alien biology. Yet it was this moment saving a life through empathy and determination that mattered most. Humanity's greatest power, he realized, was not strength or weaponry, but the ability to act with courage and kindness in the face of the unknown. As night fell on Ardent 9, Elias continued monitoring the child, adjusting nutrients, warmth, and the soft telepathic guidance of its mother. Together, they created a safe bubble in a hostile universe, a place where life could grow despite adversity. He knew more challenges awaited. The journey to the colony would be long and full of dangers. Space was unpredictable, and threats could come from any corner of the galaxy. But for the first time, Elias felt a connection that transcended species. This alien mother and child had taught him a lesson no human encounter ever could. Empathy, understanding, and ingenuity were as vital as any technology in the stars. By the time he finally rested, the child's breathing was steady, and the mother's glow had softened into a calm rhythm. Elias closed his eyes for a few moments, letting himself feel the satisfaction of a life saved, even if temporarily. Tomorrow, they would continue their journey, facing the unknown with courage. But tonight, they were alive. That was enough. For now, the stars outside the ship stretched like a river of diamonds as Captain Elias Thorne guided his small craft through the uncharted sectors of the galaxy. The alien child, now slightly stronger than before, rested quietly in a soft cradle made from the ship's adaptive fabric. Its mother hovered close, her violet skin shimmering softly under the lights. The quiet hum of the ship was the only sound, a gentle rhythm that had become a strange kind of comfort to Elias. But comfort, he knew, was temporary in a galaxy filled with unknown dangers. The energy signature that had once attracted scavengers lingered faintly in space, like a shadow following them. Elias had spent hours adjusting the ship's shields and monitoring sensors, yet the threat was not gone. It was only waiting. The alien mother floated near the child, her luminous eyes flicking to the viewport as if sensing something beyond human perception. They follow. They know the child is alive. They hunt for energy. She communicated telepathically. Elias nodded, gripping the controls tightly. We'll stay ahead. I won't let them reach the child. Suddenly, the sensors beeped frantically. Multiple energy readings, fast-moving and erratic, appeared in the nearby sector. Elias recognized the pattern predators. Not just scavengers, but skilled hunters, capable of tracking life signs across light years. Their movements were calculated, like they had done this many times before. The alien mother's voice trembled in his mind. They are strong. Faster than you. Careful. Elias's heart pounded. He activated the ship's defensive thrusters and maneuvered into a nearby asteroid field. Massive rocks, some kilometers in size, drifted slowly but densely packed, creating a natural maze. It was a gamble. He would have to fly close to the asteroids, risking collision, to escape the hunters. The hunters appeared almost immediately. Sleek ships, black as void, with sharp angular lines that reflected no light. Their energy weapons glowed faintly, scanning for the child's signature. Elias's ship shuddered as one of the hunters fired a pulse, narrowly missing him and striking an asteroid instead, sending debris spinning dangerously close. Hold steady, he muttered, more to himself than to anyone else. His hands moved over the controls with precise calculation. The alien mother reached out telepathically, sending him visions of safe gaps between the asteroids. He followed her guidance, weaving through the maze with skill and care. Minutes stretched like hours. Every move required focus. One wrong turn, one miscalculation, and the ship would be crushed against rock or caught by the hunters. The child stirred in its cradle, sensing the tension in the air, but remained protected by the mother's calm, telepathic aura. Elias realized how much they depended on each other, human skill, alien instinct, and courage all working together. Almost through, he said, sweat beading on his forehead. The hunters were persistent, following closely but unable to navigate as quickly through the asteroid field. Elias increased speed slightly, testing their limits. The alien mother communicated rapidly, showing him which rocks were unstable and which paths would lead to safety. Finally, after a tense chase, they emerged from the field. The hunters hesitated, scanning the open space, then vanished into the darkness. Elias exhaled, leaning back in his seat, exhausted but relieved. The alien mother hovered close to the child, her skin glowing faintly brighter in relief. You are brave. Human. You risked yourself to protect life. Like few in galaxy, she said telepathically. Elias felt a warmth in his chest. This was more than duty. It was connection. Humanity had the capacity to protect and care, even in the darkest corners of space. But the relief was short-lived. A sudden alert flashed on the ship's display. An unknown vessel had appeared on a distant trajectory, moving quickly toward their position. Elias frowned. It was large, far beyond the size of scavenger ships, and its energy signature was more complex, more dangerous. Looks like we're not done yet, he muttered. The alien mother's eyes widened with concern. This one. More dangerous. Not only want energy, want child. Elias knew he needed a plan. He activated the ship's stealth systems, dimming lights and reducing emissions. He calculated trajectories that would hide them behind gas clouds and debris clusters, hoping to evade detection. The alien mother assisted, projecting visions of safe routes through space, highlighting patterns invisible to human sensors. As night fell across the stars, the ship passed near a glowing nebula. Its gas and energy disrupted standard sensors, creating a perfect cover. Elias piloted carefully, keeping the child and mother safe while monitoring the distant vessel. It was persistent, closing distance slowly but surely. Hours passed. Elias prepared the ship's defensive systems just in case, though he hoped it would not come to a fight. The alien mother remained near the child, her telepathy extending outward in a protective field. Elias marveled at the power of their bond. She was more than a mother, she was a guardian, a guide, and now a partner in survival. Finally, the large vessel slowed and veered off course, unable to penetrate the nebula without risking damage. Elias breathed deeply, allowing himself a brief moment of relief. "We're safe. For now," he said. The alien mother floated closer. "Your people, humans, you are clever, strong, and you care. You make life worth protecting." Elias smiled faintly. Her words, though not fully understood in human terms, resonated deeply. They reflected the essence of humanity's strength: courage, ingenuity, and compassion. Despite the danger passing, Elias knew the journey was far from over. The child was recovering, but the galaxy was vast, and threats could appear at any moment. Every decision mattered, every choice could mean survival or failure. Yet he felt a quiet determination. Humans had faced impossible odds before, and this was no different. Over the next day, Elias focused on the child's recovery. He adjusted nutrient doses, improved the artificial environment of the ship, and monitored vital signs carefully. Each small improvement brought a glow of life back to the child's fragile form. The alien mother assisted, her telepathy providing guidance and reassurance. Together, they created a safe haven inside the small ship, a bubble of hope in the vast, threatening galaxy. During a rare moment of calm, Elias spoke quietly. "Your people, how do you survive in such a dangerous galaxy?" The mother's eyes reflected memories of distant stars and past hardships. "We travel. We hide. We protect the young. We rely on others when trust is given. Like now." Elias nodded slowly. Trust. That was the key. Humans, despite their flaws, had the capacity to extend trust and compassion across species, across worlds. It was a fragile thing, but it could change outcomes, save lives, and even protect the future. As night returned across the galaxy, Elias adjusted the ship's course toward a human colony several sectors away. The child was stable, the mother vigilant, and the ship ready for anything. Yet he knew the galaxy was unpredictable. Predators would not give up easily, and new dangers could appear at any moment. Still, hope persisted. The child's soft breathing, the mother's calm presence, and the stars stretching endlessly beyond the viewport reminded Elias why he endured these challenges. Humanity was more than a species, it was a force for protection, courage, and empathy in the vast, cold reaches of space. The alien mother placed a gentle hand on his shoulder, her telepathy conveying gratitude and trust. Together, we survive, we protect, life continues. Elias felt the weight of her words and the truth in them. Together, they could face anything. The night passed slowly, the galaxy vast and quiet around them. But in the small ship, life thrived, fragile but resilient. The child's recovery continued. The mother's guidance remained steady, and Elias's determination burned stronger than ever. The interstellar threat had tested them, but humanity's ingenuity and courage had carried them through. And as the stars moved silently outside, Elias realized that the galaxy, with all its dangers and wonders, was a place where humans could shine, not through domination, but through protection, compassion, and the courage to act when it mattered most. Tomorrow, they would face new challenges. But tonight, they survived. Tonight, humanity's best qualities had prevailed in the void of space, and Elias knew that, as long as they had trust, ingenuity, and empathy, no threat could extinguish the light they carried. The small ship glided through the star-strewn void, carrying life as fragile as a single spark. Captain Elias Thorne adjusted the course toward the human colony several sectors away. The alien child, now noticeably stronger, slept peacefully in a soft cradle, its tiny chest rising and falling with steady, rhythmic breaths. Its mother floated nearby, her glowing violet skin pulsing gently, reflecting her relief and the bond she now shared with Elias. Elias reviewed the ship's systems carefully. Sensors were fully operational, shields functioning at maximum efficiency, and the engines were ready for any emergency. But beyond machinery, Elias felt a deeper sense of preparation. The human spirit, combined with the alien mother's guidance, had carried them through trials that might have seemed impossible. The journey was long, but the calm moments allowed Elias to reflect. He had arrived on Ardent 9, expecting a routine survey, perhaps a minor discovery, and yet had found a mother and child in desperate need. He realized that exploration was never just about maps and minerals. It was about connections, about extending humanity's courage and empathy into the unknown. Child, stronger now, thanks to you. The alien mother communicated telepathically. Her words, though simple, carried immense gratitude. Elias nodded, understanding that her species expressed appreciation, not just through words, but through presence, emotion, and energy. As the colony approached, Elias activated communications. Terran colony. This is Captain Elias Thorne. I am bringing a critically ill alien child and guardian for immediate medical assistance. Requesting priority, landing, and support. The response came quickly, confirming their reception and directing them to a secure landing bay. Elias maneuvered the ship carefully, descending through the colony's protective atmosphere and touching down on a smooth platform surrounded by towering medical and research facilities. The child's crib was lifted gently by colony personnel, experts in both human and alien medicine. The alien mother followed closely, her telepathic presence guiding them to ensure no sudden movements stressed the child. Elias remained nearby, ready to assist. Though human technology was advanced, he knew the combination of alien insight and human skill had saved this child's life. Medical teams immediately began detailed examinations. Sensors scanned the child's body, analyzing vital signs, cellular structure, and neurological activity. Every reading confirmed the improvements Elias had already observed. The child's growth, its responses, and the strength of its heartbeat were beyond initial expectations. The alien mother watched closely, communicating with Elias through a blend of telepathy and subtle gestures. They understand. They help. Child safe now, she conveyed. Elias felt a swell of pride. Humanity had created a place where different species could find safety, a place where knowledge and empathy combined to preserve life. Hours passed as the child received specialized care. Nutrients, partially synthesized from the alien mother's guidance and human technology, were administered. Each small action strengthened the child further, restoring color to its pale skin and light to its glowing eyes. By evening, the child reached a stage of recovery that allowed gentle interaction. Elias watched as the child stirred, tiny fingers reaching for the mother. She responded immediately, holding the child close and transmitting calming telepathic signals. Elias felt a profound sense of connection, human and alien, separated by species, but united by care and compassion. Finally, the colony's lead scientist approached. "Captain Thorne, you've done remarkable work," she said, her voice filled with admiration. "This child's recovery would not have been possible without your ingenuity and courage, combined with the mother's unique abilities. You've demonstrated what humans are capable of in the galaxy. Elias inclined his head. I only did what anyone should do. Life matters. Species, distance, or danger, it shouldn't stop us from helping. The scientist smiled, clearly impressed. Perhaps your philosophy should guide future exploration teams. Cooperation with other species, empathy in unknown territories. It could save countless lives. The alien mother spoke, her voice soft but radiant with gratitude. You are human. Yet you act like the stars themselves. Shining, protecting. I will remember you forever. Elias felt a warmth he could not describe. A validation not from awards or recognition, but from the recognition of life itself. As the child slept peacefully, Elias took a moment to look out at the galaxy beyond the colony's protective shields. Stars sparkled like distant beacons of hope. Each one, a reminder of the vastness of space, the unknowns that awaited humanity, and the responsibility that came with discovery. The alien mother continued, sharing more about her people. She told stories of distant worlds, of wanderers seeking safe passages across dangerous sectors, of societies built on empathy, survival, and mutual respect. Elias listened intently, absorbing everything, understanding that humans could learn much from species that survived in harsh environments, guided not by conquest, but by protection and care. Days passed. The child's condition improved dramatically. It laughed softly, a sound unfamiliar yet heartwarming, reaching out to Elias, as if recognizing him as part of its world. The alien mother smiled, her glow brighter than ever. Together, they formed a bond that transcended language, species, and distance. Finally, the moment of departure arrived. The alien mother prepared to leave the colony with her child, ready to return to her home systems. Elias accompanied them to the docking bay, ensuring a smooth transition and offering supplies and guidance for the next leg of their journey. You have shown what humans can be, she said, placing a hand over his. Brave, wise, kind. You are hope among stars. If your people continue like this, galaxy will change. Elias smiled, feeling the weight and truth of her words. Humanity had the ability to shape the galaxy, not through domination, but through empathy, courage, and ingenuity. Protecting life, understanding others, and acting with morality, these were the true measures of greatness. The alien mother lifted her child, and together they floated toward their ship, ready to depart. Elias watched as the engines activated, lifting them gently into the starry expanse. He felt a sense of fulfillment and hope. The galaxy was vast, full of dangers and wonders, yet even in its cold expanse, life could thrive. Humanity had proven it could protect, nurture, and inspire. Elias returned to the colony's observation deck, looking at the stars with quiet determination. Tomorrow would bring new missions, new challenges, but the lessons of Ardent 9 remained clear. Courage, empathy, and ingenuity were humanity's greatest weapons, capable of overcoming fear and preserving life across the galaxy. The story of the child and its mother would be told among the colony's explorers, a tale of human heroism that crossed species boundaries. Yet for Elias, it was more than a story, it was a reminder of purpose. Every act of care, every choice to act bravely in the face of uncertainty, had ripple effects far beyond what one could see. As the twin suns of a distant system rose over the horizon, Elias prepared for his next journey, knowing that wherever humanity went, it would leave a mark, not through power, but through kindness, courage, and an unwavering commitment to life. And in the quiet hum of the colony, amidst the laughter of a child who had been given a second chance, Elias understood the greatest truth of all. Humanity, when it chooses to rise above fear and act with compassion, could truly shine among the stars. The galaxy was vast. Danger was everywhere. But hope, courage, and empathy Those were the forces that could change the universe. And humanity had them in abundance.